Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the morning classes of a very important lecture. Yes, Shamli, I felt so. That is why I asked last time in the previous class. I also had this apprehension that I may have uploaded a wrong sheet. Yes, good morning, Shamli. Good morning, Geeta. Good morning, Pooja. Yes, thank you, Deepika. Very good morning. Allow me a minute then. This was my very purpose of asking in the previous class. ठीक है. So in the meantime, now then, since a wrong sheet has been uploaded, what have you all done then in the homework? So I'm just uploading another sheet. Did you all solve any question from the module or past examination for your practice? And if there is any doubt in those questions, now I've just uploaded the correct sheet. अजी जी एक बार प्लीज वो आप देख लेंगे वो शीट और अप्रूव कर देंगे so that the students can refer it. Students, then in that case, you may not have done the homework. Oh, acha, chalo, do one thing. I'll give you time now. Immediately take a screenshot of this question number 2 and 3 and we solve it now because it is important that before I proceed, you have a practice because this chapter is very scoring. It is a good chapter for exams. So I want you all to be thorough with this. So take a screenshot fast. Done. Now take a screenshot of this page as well, which includes the remaining part of question 2 and question 3. Yes, take it now. Done. Chalo. Fast. Solve question number 2. Start solving question 2. Students, which method has to be followed for apportioning the joint cost? My first question. Second question, what is the joint cost? Give me these two figures in the chat. One is give me the figure of joint cost, and second, inform which method you are going to follow for joint cost apportionment. Yes, which method and what is the joint cost? So who will tell me? Okay, I've got answer. Mustafa, beta, what is this method? I have not taught any such method, beta. What are the methods? See, these are the methods. Physical units or average cost method. Then in market value, you have sales value at split off. You have sales value after further processing. You have NRV. And then expert advice, that is only a conceptual point, and gross margin. Out of this, which method has to be followed? Very good, Shamli. Go ahead. Others, read the question. See, I repeat, in costing, you will realize once you practice more and more sums that solving is not difficult, though it appears to be. But the difficult part is mainly interpreting the question. Mustafa, beta, please check. Read the question again. From where did you get this method? Tell me. Chalo, students, question number 2 we are solving. You have to tell me the method by which you will be solving question number 2. This is the question that we are solving. Yes, students. Harsh Kaur, Himanshu, Kuldeep, Mujahid, Jaya, Medha, Ashlesha, Namrata, Pooja, Harsh Mishra. I'm waiting for your answers. Rishika, Geeta, Manisha, Abhijit, Khushi, Linga R, Anjana, Kumudavali, Sanju. I'm waiting for your answers. Which method has to be followed in this question for joint cost apportionment? And what is the joint cost? Very good, Nitya. Go ahead, start solving. No, Geeta, that is not the method. Read the question. Very good, Harsh Mishra. Proceed solving. Yes, Jaya, but it is not selling price, it is sales value. Don't take the price. You have to multiply the price with the quantity to get the sales value, and that will be the ratio, not the price. Yes, Himanshu. So I'm asking, Meda, what is that which is given? Mustafa, beta, it is very clearly given the method. Why you are trying to derive a method, though your answer is correct, but the reasoning which you are giving me, if you are following any such reasoning, it may go incorrect in some other question. But the method now, what you have said is correct, but that is straightforward given in the question. You don't have to assume. Correct, Deepika. Start solving. Yes, Pooja, very correct. Start solving. Students, at this level, reading and interpreting the question is the key to scoring marks because you'll find in majority chapters and majority sums, the format of answering never changes. Same format, same formula, same steps, except one or two additional steps here and there. But still, the question appears difficult. What is difficult? The difficulty is how to start. And why this difficulty comes? Because we are not able to interpret the question. Once you know what the question is, what the data is, you have to simply take the correct format, take the correct formula, and fill in the blanks. Yes, Namrata beta, but your answer is wrong. Please read the question again. Yes, Mustafa, you are correct. Joint cost is correct. Start solving. Yes, Harsh Kaur, you're right. Please start solving. Correct, Nitya, your joint cost is correct. Okay, Himanshu, good. You have given me the joint cost also. Yes, Medha beta, joint cost is correct. Start solving. Yes, Deepika, you are right. Start solving. Okay, Shamli, you're right. Your joint cost is correct. Go ahead. Harsh Kaur, your joint cost is correct. Go ahead. Himanshu beta, the apportionment that you have given, if you are giving me the ratio, then fine. If you are giving me the amount, this is not the amount which I am getting for joint cost apportioned figure. So students, for those who want the answers, the joint cost is the total of these three. So 17,520, 16,240, 16,240. And the total of these three figure comes to, so 16, 16, 32, 32, 480. 32, 480 plus 520 is 33. 33 plus 17 is 50. So the joint cost is round figure 50,000. And the method for apportioning joint cost in this question number 2 is clearly mentioned. It is the sales value at split off figure. So you have to apportion 50,000 in the ratio of sales value at split off. Okay, Himanshu, then if this is your ratio, then fine. I've not yet checked the ratio. Okay, Kairavi, beta, good. Kairavi, if you are done with this question, you can proceed to question 3 also, beta. By the time we are solving this, you may proceed to question 3 also. Excellent, Kairavi. If you have done that also, then so it means you have my sheet, beta. Oh, in that case, Kairavi, you can try question 6. If you're not having that, you can just take a screenshot now. And if you have done both these sums in homework, solve question number 6, beta. Now, in this question, I have to again solve the same thing. My first part of the question is prepare the statement showing apportionment of joint cost and then profit at split off, profit after further, and recommendation. I'll put the sub question numbers 1. Here it is Roman 2. What are product names? Product names are KLM. Now, as you can see, students, the method asked in this question is sales value at split off point method. And you calculate the sales value in this second working. So you should first prepare this second working because anyways it is fill in the blanks. So by preparing this working, you'll also get the ratio. Now, what is my selling price given? It is 4, 28, 4 and 40 multiplied by the quantity. So 16 fours are 64. So the sales value of K at split off is 64,000. Then 200 into 28. So it is 5,600, correct? So it is 64,000, 5,600. Then 2,000 into 8 is 16,000, correct? And 360 into 40. So 6 fours are 24, 4 threes are 12, and 2, 14. So it is 14400. So it is 14400. So now, if I have to take the ratio would be 640, 56, 160, 144. Correct? 640 is to 56 is to 160 is to 144. Right? And in this ratio, you will divide 50,000 to get the joint cost figures. Okay. And what are my sales values after further processing? It is this 1,09,600, 5,600, then 30,000 and 21,600. What are my further processing costs? 28,800, 16, and 6,600. Done. Now, then you'll get all the remaining answers. Okay, Meda has given me the joint cost figures. 32,000, 2,800, 8,000, 7,200, 32. This is the joint cost that we get in this ratio. So this is the profit that we are getting. Yes, Shamli, you're right, Bida. Proceed. You had already given me the correct figure of joint costs. Okay, Shamli, by now you should have calculated even the profit after split off. Sorry, not split off only, further processing also. 50,654. Mega, which answer you have given, Beda? I'm not understanding the answer that you have given, Meda. Mega, give me profit after further processing. I want profits now after further processing. Okay. Mustafa has given me the profits after further processing 48,800, 2,800, 6,000, 7,800. Okay, and the company profits comes to 65,400. Now, my decisions The alternate plan would be sell product K after further process and N after further process and L and M at split off point. So these two are split off, these two are further processing. 56,600, 64,600, 66,600, 67,400. This is the final answer, students. Correct. Correct, Shamli. Very good, Khushi. Yes. Medha, correct, Beda. Correct, Meenu. Very good, Khushi, Beda. Go to next sum, question 3. Those who have done question 2, go to question 3. Others, kindly check. If still you have doubts, let me know. Yes, Meenu, right. Good. Students, go to question 3. That is going to be interesting now. Again, the key is the language. The first reading may give some apprehensions, but let me tell you, once you read it again minutely, you get closer to the answer. Aditya, this answer that you posted is of which question, Beda? Aditya, I think it is not correct what you have posted. Read the question well, students. Reading is the key. Yes, Mustafa, Beda. You have to solve the question as per what is the requirement. So your understanding is correct. Yes, Meenu, you are right, Beda. Proceed with the answer. Your joint cost is correct, Beda. Yes, Medha. I hope the figure that you have mentioned is figure in thousands. Chalo, students, solve. The figure of joint cost is 25 lakhs. If I have to decode the question for you, but again, Mustafa, is it 15 lakhs or 25 lakhs? Beta, please check. What it says, you purchase raw material and this raw material is processed into two products, caustic soda, chlorine. Correct? Now, during April, it purchased salt for 10 lakhs and the cost of conversion means labor and overheads is 15 lakhs. This was incurred up to the split off point. So it is like this joint cost 25 lakhs. Now it is like this, you input salt, salt gives you two products. This is what is given. Two products which you get by inputting salt is this caustic soda and chlorine. And then chlorine can be further processed and you can make PVC. This is how the question flow is. Okay, good, Shamli. Proceed. Harsh, beta, please check. I don't agree with your answer. Again, I don't agree, Harsh. Now, the important part is, students, please be clear. How much of each product is made? I'm just writing. So this is 1200 tons that is made. This is 800 tons that is made. And this will be 500 tons that is made. Right? These are the quantities, as you can see. Now the selling prices are given 1250 and 5000. If I multiply this by 1250, I get the sale value. Here, if I multiply this by 5000, I get the sale value. See, this is the preparatory work that you will do at the start of your answer. Now, what else is given? All 800 tons of cloning is further processed at an incremental cost of 5 lakhs. This 5 lakhs is your further processing cost. So by further processing 800 of chlorine, you get 500 of PVC that we know from the above data also. There is no byproduct. There was no beginning or ending inventory. There is an active market of chlorine and the company can sell chlorine at this price. So if I want to sell chlorine, it is multiplied by 1875. Now by multiplying all these, I will get the sales values. So here 500 into 5,000, 5 fives are 25. My sales value is 25 lakhs. And here 1250 into 1200. So this is 15 lakhs, correct? And then 1875 into 800. Double of 1875 is 37. 37 double is 74. 74 into 2 and 48. What will be the sales value of chlorine? Do I need it? I will need it. 1875, I'm making wrong. 36, 3750, 3750. So this is also 15 lakhs. So these are the sales values of caustic soda 15 lakhs, of chlorine 15 lakhs, and this is 25 lakhs, correct? Now, what are the questions? Calculate joint cost of 25 lakhs and apportion it between the two basic products, caustic soda, chlorine, by each of the methods. So here you have to solve it by 3 methods, correct? So question 3, I've already calculated joint cost. I've already done that working which I just showed to calculate the figures. Now I'm on the answers. A, capital A is my first answer. Now here I'll just find out NRV of PVC. How do you find out NRV? It is sales value after further processing minus further processing costs. I just calculated sales value, which is 25 lakhs. 5 lakhs is the further processing cost given. So NRV of PVC is 20 lakhs. So here the NRV of this is coming to 20 lakhs. Correct now? This is the sales value, this is the sales value, this is the sales value. And NRV is coming to 20 lakhs. Nitya, that is possible because this is past exam question. Now, I have to apportion. One second. So, now, to compute joint costs by 3 methods. So A working is statement showing joint costs. Now, the methods are A, B, C. So I'll call them as A, B, C, and caustic soda, chlorine. caustic soda, chlorine, caustic soda, chlorine. Joint cost. It is apportioned in ratio of method A is sales value split of physical units and NRV. So here it is sales value at split of physical units. Here it is NRV. How much is sales value at split of? It is 15 lakhs, 15 lakhs. How much is physical units? 1200, 800. How much is NRV? Caustic soda anyways has to be sold as it is. Chlorine can be converted into PVC, for which the NRV we calculated was 20 lakhs. So these are my ratios, students. And using these ratios, I apportion the joint cost. So here it is equal. So 25 lakhs divided equally, 12.5 lakhs. Here it is 12:8. So 25 divided by 20 into 8 and into 12. Correct? So it is 15 lakhs, 10 lakhs. And this amount would come in some fraction. Give me that figure. Give me the figure of joint cost apportion using the NRV ratio, which is 15:20. Okay. Shamli says caustic soda is 1071428. Harsh also says the same, and he has given me even for chlorine. So 1071428. So it is 1071428. And the other one is 142,857. So these are the joint costs as per the three methods. Correct, students? Yes, Shamli, correct. Harsh, very good. Yes, Minu. So this is the first part of my answer for part A of the question. Now I go to part B. What is the gross margin? Gross margin means profit, and they are asking it as a percentage. So we know how to find out profit percentage. We have been doing this in accounts. So what is the gross margin percentage of both these products under the three methods cited above? Now here, interestingly, they have changed chlorine to PVC. So now while calculating profit and the percentage of profit, they want you to consider the product not as chlorine, but as PVC. So B part of my answer is statement showing gross margin percentage. Again, A, B, C. Caustic soda, PVC. Caustic soda, PVC. Caustic soda, PVC. Sales value minus joint cost minus further processing cost. Sales value is 15 lakhs, 25 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 25 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 25 lakhs. Further processing cost is 5 lakhs for PVC. Now the joint cost apportion figures are here. In first case, it is 12.5, 12.5. Second, it is 15 and 10. So here it is 12.5, 12.5. Here it is 15. Here it is 10. And in the third method, it is in some fraction figure 1071428. So it is 1071428 and 142,8572. Now by subtracting this, what is left is my gross margin, and then I can express it as a percentage of sales value. So here it is 2.5 lakhs. Here it is 7.5 lakhs. Here it is nil. Here it is 10 lakhs. Here it is 428572. And here it is 971428. 9 or 10? I think 10. Now this divided by this into 100. This divided by this into 100. You get your percentages. Correct, students? So 2.5, 15 is 1.6, 16.67. And this is 25, 3, 75, so 30%. Here it is 0, 10 by 25, 4, so 40%. Correct, students? 571428. Okay, not 10. Shamli has corrected me. She says this is 57. Okay, Shamli, thank you. So students, this is your answer for part B of the question. Again, see, the question at the first reading may have appeared difficult, but if we interpret correctly, if we solve, we find that it is not so difficult. Right? And then you have the C part of the question, which is Lifetime Swimming Pools offers to purchase chlorine at the price of 1875. This sale would mean that no PVC can be sold. How accepting the offer affects the operating income? Now see the language, what they are asking. They are simply asking you decision making, whether you should convert chlorine into PVC and sell as what you are doing, or instead of converting to PVC, you should sell the chlorine itself. Now, in such cases, statement showing decision about further processing chlorine to PVC. I'm following the direct method. Sales value of PVC, that is after further processing, minus sales value of chlorine, that is at split off. This gives me my additional revenue from further processing minus additional cost of further processing. This is the net benefit from further processing. See, I'm following this, what we studied in the previous class, this direct method. If you remember, sales value after further processing minus sales value at split off is additional sales revenue minus additional cost. If this net benefit is negative, I will say don't further process. If net benefit is positive, I'll say further process. Same thing I have followed here. So solve it and give me the answer. Okay, let's check the answers that you have got. Shamli, is it beneficial to further process or not? Because you have to give that answer. Correct. Medha, your answer is still incomplete. Yes, Kairavi. So see, what is the sales value of PVC? What is the sales value of chlorine? So by further processing, I get additional revenue of 10 lakhs. Further processing cost is 5 lakhs. 5 lakhs positive. It means further processing is beneficial. So what will be my answer? Now see, you have to answer in the language of the question. How would accepting the offer affect operating income of May? Which offer? Lifetime swimming pools offer of purchasing chlorine. It means they are indirectly asking what will happen if you accept the offer, means sell chlorine instead of PVC. Because if you see the question, you have been selling PVC. But now in this particular part, they are asking you what will be the impact if you accept the offer. Correct? So by accepting the offer of lifetime swimming pool for purchase of chlorine, the company would lose rupees 5 lakhs of its operating income. Hence, the company should reject the offer and continue to sell PVC. Did you get this? Yes, Bada. The video may be stuck now because now people have got up. They have started posting good morning messages. Yesterday we had the GST Council meeting. Many people may be posting that. So in the morning timings, this is a big challenge. Fine. Now, let us proceed, students. Now let me take you to an important part of this chapter, that is treatment of byproduct. Now, firstly, what is a byproduct? We discussed that in the previous class itself at the time of starting of this chapter. Do you all remember what is byproduct, students? Yes, students. Students, my question is, do you remember what is byproducts? I'd explained this at the start. Okay. Shamli says secondary product produced Jaya says unintentionally produced. No, Harsh, it is not product after split off point. Every product is after split off point, even the joint products. Yes, Karavi, very good. Yes, Meenu, correct. Good, Mustafa. Okay, Deepika. So you are correct. So basically, a byproduct is the waste arising during processing. But this waste is recognized in the market as a product. So for us, we know that it is our waste, but for market, it is a product. So instead of we then calling it as waste, we also call it as a product. But then for us, we need the distinction whether it is our main product or it is our waste. So we call the main products as the joint products and the waste as the byproduct. So that from our side also, we are referring to this as a product because market recognizes this as a product. So in my previous example of oil refining to get from crude oil the petrol, diesel, which are your main products, which are your joint products. But in that processing, for refining these crude oil, which is a very thick oil, into petrol, diesel, which is very finer, you remove the greasy part. That is what you do in refining. You start removing the greasy part. That greasy thick part which is removed is what is the grease, which is your waste for you. But in the market, grease is sellable as a product. It is used as a lubricant in all garages when they are doing servicing of the vehicles. They use it as a lubricant. In fact, this same grease will be mixed with some perfume, with some coloring agent, and that becomes your cream, which you use during winters. So during winters, the Vaseline that you're using, if you read the name given to that, Vaseline is the brand name. But if you read on that uh, box, it is said petroleum jelly. Again, smartly, instead of saying petroleum waste, they are saying petroleum jelly. Because if they say waste, you may not buy the product. So the Vaseline that you use is nothing but the waste arising from this processing. Correct? Fine. Now, once there is a waste, but the waste is a saleable waste, what is the treatment? First, you shouldn't understand the meaning of this word because this word you find in each and every chapter of costing. So, treatment means what do you do of the cost of the byproduct? What do you do of the sale value of the byproduct? So, in costing, when we ask this question, what is the treatment? Then, what the examiner is trying to ask from you is that how will you deal with the cost and the income of this particular item? That is what is treatment. So if they are asking you what is the treatment, they are asking you the impact or the workings of the cost or the revenue attributable to that thing. Now here that thing is the byproduct. Now the answer to this is mainly you get this as a theory, but we will be solving a sum practically so that what I'm explaining you now conceptually, theoretically will be very thoroughly cleared once you take a practical sum. So what is the treatment? So they say there are two possible treatments and it depends upon which treatment to be done. It depends upon what is the sale value. If the sale value of byproduct is significant or if the sale value of is nominal. Now, what is this significant and nominal? So you have to compare the sale value of byproduct with your main product's selling price. So if main product selling price is 20 and byproduct selling price is 12, 15, 10, so it is significant. But if your main product's selling price is 20 and your byproduct sale price is 1, 2, 4, 5, it means it is nominal. So significant or nominal as compared to the selling prices of your main products. Now, if byproduct is having a significant sale value, so it also becomes your main product. So you treat it as a joint product. Why it becomes your main product? Main product means for you, it is giving similar revenue. So you will give the treatment of the main product. But if it is giving a nominal revenue, then treat it as what it is. What it is a loss. So treat it as a loss. Now you'll ask, sir, what is the difference between treating it as joint product and treating it as loss? Try to recall your process costing chapter. If there is a loss, what do? The net realizable value of loss is deducted from your process cost. So here we will deduct it from the joint cost, and the balance is divided between the joint products. So this is what you studied in process costing also. If you recall, what you did of the normal loss, whatever was the scrap value of normal loss, you subtracted it from the cost of the process, the total cost of the process. And the balance cost you charge to the finished goods, to the closing WIP. Same thing is given here. Whatever is the sale value or net realizable value of this loss, which is your byproduct, is deducted from the joint cost, which is the total cost, and the balance joint cost is divided between joint products. This is if you want to treat this as a loss. What if you want to treat this as a joint cost, then joint product, then the total joint cost is divided to all products, that is joint product and byproduct. So if you want to treat it as joint product means what? Do what you do to joint products. What do? The joint cost you bifurcate, you divide between all the joint products. So now also include the byproduct in the joint products and divide the joint cost to the byproduct also. So this is what is the treatment. You can call it as the theory part. And this question is mainly 2 or 3 marks theory question. What is the treatment of byproducts in costing? But to understand this, I have crafted a practical question which will help us understand. So it is this question. So what is the question saying? The output and other details of different product emerging at split off point is as under. So there are 4 products. The quantities of products are given. Further processing costs are given. Selling prices are given. Now, out of these products, A, B, and D are main products, whereas C is your waste or byproduct. The total joint cost up to split off point is 20 lakhs. And the method that they are following is physical units. Now, you are supposed to do what? Find out the cost of each product. So costing is required, but under both the options. What is the first option? Product C is treated as main product or product C is treated as a scrap. Now here, what we just studied, the conceptual part, you will be able to understand it from this particular practical question, right? So we are solving question 5 and it is A. So the byproduct is treated as your main product, that is the joint product. What you will do? Statement joint cost. A, B, C, D. Joint cost, a portion in ratio of physical units. How much is your joint cost? Joint cost is 20 lakhs. Physical units ratio is 45, 42, 10, 25. So 45, 42, 10. This will be my first answer. What is the second answer? Byproduct is treated as what it is. What it is a scrap. It is a loss. So you treat it as a scrap. Now, when you have to treat it as a scrap, what you will do? Our total joint cost is rupees 20 lakhs. From this, we subtract the net realizable value of byproduct, which is C. What is net realizable value? See, the byproduct has a sales of 10,000 into 6, that is 60,000. But for doing this, you have to incur extra cost of 2,000. So 10,000 into 6 is the sale value, minus 2,000 is the cost for completing this product. So your net realizable value is, now this becomes your net joint cost. Now what I will do is statement showing joint cost A, B, and D, because my main products are only A, B, D. Now I'll apportion. What I will apportion? I will apportion this amount. That is the net joint cost apportion in ratio of physical units. Now, what is the ratio? 45 is to 42 is to 25. I don't apportion it to C because now the treatment of C is not my product. C is a loss. C is a scrap. So see the difference. What we saw here conceptually, this is what is explained to you with the help of this practical example. Correct? So students, give me both the answers. One, if you are treating this as your main product, as a joint product, and if you are treating it as a scrap. Chalo, give me the answers. So the conceptual or the theoretical part, you'll understand better with this practical example. Link it with what I explained about relating to treatment of byproducts. Yes, students, give me the answers. Geeta, Khushi, Harsh Kaur, Sandhya, Vijit, Mohan Kumar, Krishna. Krishna, you joined late. Deepika, Nitya. Come on, everyone. Start posting the answers. Okay. So Jaya has given me the answer. Minu has also given me the answer. Good. Harsh Kaur has also given the answer. Good. So I'm writing down the answers. 7377705. So 737705. Then 6888525. 163,934 and 409836. Then here, Jaya has given me this answer also, 826875. 826875, 771, 750, 459, 375. Okay. So students, these are the answers. I'm sure others also have these answers. Shanti, your answers are they not matching? No, they are matching. Okay, perfect. Great. Perfect. Yes, correct. Yes, net joint cost you have to divide by 142 only because that is what is the net joint cost menu. And that will be divided between A, B, and D because now C is treated as a scrap or a loss. And what do you do of scrap? Recall process costing, we subtract the scrap value from the total cost and the balance cost is charged to your product. So that is what we have done. So treating it as a loss, then please check whether if your answer is different. Students, please confirm if the second answer, which I have written on the screen, is correct. It is to be divided 9,42,000 only in three products A, B, D. 80268. Please check and confirm if this is correct. This is not correct, I think so. So Jaya beta, this answer, I'm not finding it as correct. The other answer that I'm getting or given is 780268. 728250 and 433482. So Jaya beta, please recheck your answers. Yes, now I think this is correct. It is matching with everybody's answers. Yes, students, you are right. This is the correct answer. 780268. 7 28250. Yes, this is perfect, students. Yes, right. Aditya, what you have written, beta? I did not get your answer. Perfect, students. Now we are on the same page. Shamli, but it cannot be different. These are the only answers. There is no two answers, beta. Now, students will go to this question. This I have named as comprehensive. Why? Because this is a combination of process plus this chapter. So what it says, three joint products are produced by passing a chemical through two consecutive processes. So similar to my oil refinery example. So you insert a chemical and the chemical is processed in two stages. The output from the first process obviously will be transferred to second process. And in the second process, you get the three joint products, correct? The data relating to the process is, so in process one, direct material input is 2500 kgs at the rate of 4. So the cost is 10,000. Labor is this, overheads is this. Normal loss 10%, scrap value is this, output is this. This is the details of first process. In the second process, you incur these costs. There is no loss, hence no scrap value. And then in the second process, you get these three products as your output. There is no opening closing WIP, so that is better because opening closing WIP increases your workings. The selling price of the output of second process is this. From the above, you are required to prepare process one together with the loss and gain account, a statement showing profit of each of the joint product. So you have to find out profits. If you are apportioning cost first by the physical units method, second by the market value. Correct? I hope you all understood this question, students. So this is a combination of process and joint. That is why I have named it as comprehensive. Now to solve this, we have to solve process. Just for saving time, I'm not drawing the complete format. You all know the format by now. So it is 2,500 and this is 10,000. Correct? Labor is 6,250, overheads is 4,500. Normal loss. How much is normal loss? 10% of input, scrap value rupees 2. So input is this, 10% of this comes to 250. Scrap value at the rate of 2 will come to 500. And then you will say buy process 2. Now how much will go to process 2? There is nothing mentioned about abnormal loss. So 2500 minus this, you get how much? You get 2250, but the output given is 2300. So I'm sure you understand that there will be abnormal gain. Correct, na students? I hope you recall all this. Very good, Shamli. Now, working note, calculation of cost. First, I find out total cost per unit. Total cost minus scrap value of normal loss upon input minus normal loss units. Correct? Na? This is our mother formula. I've already mentioned to you this, that you follow this formula in every chapter of costing. So this is my total cost, 10 plus 16, 420, 20, 750. minus scrap value of normal loss is 500 upon input 2500 minus 250. This is my per unit cost. Now, I have to find out value of two things. Valuation, one is the process 2 units, which is 2300 units multiplied by this per unit cost, and abnormal gain 50 units multiplied by this per unit cost. Correct, students? So 2250 upon 2250. What is the per unit cost? Okay, Shamli has given me the details. Per unit cost, she says, is 9. And when I multiply 9 here, I will get 450 here and 20,700 here. So 2700, and this is 450. Correct? So 2550, 2550, 21,200, 21,200. Perfect, students. Hope you all are getting the same figures. Very good. Yes, very, very good. Medha, beta, 9.2, how you got? I am getting 9. Rather, I'll say we all are getting 9. Please recheck. Now we come to process 2. Now in process 2, you have material coming from process 1, this one. So 2300, value 2700. Then labor, then overheads. Correct? How much is labor? 6900, overheads is 6900, and there are no losses. Directly there is output. 6900, 6900 by finished goods, which is 3 products. But we don't do bifurcation in process. We have not done bifurcation in process. Simply we'll write the total 9 plus 8, 17 plus 623. So it is matching. So it means there is no abnormal gain or loss here. So simply 2300, and the total cost here becomes my total finished goods value. So 20 plus this is 13,800. So 13 is 14,500. So it is 34,500. Correct, students? So 34,500 is the total value of finished goods that I'm getting. Now, please understand, students, this 34,500 becomes your joint cost. Obviously, Minu beta, finished goods will be made up of all my joint products. Na? So you're right. It is the total of ABC, which is my joint products. Correct, Sandhya. Good. Fine. Now what am I asked in this question? The first part was process. The second part is statement showing profits under 2 methods. So statement showing profits under 2 methods. First is if joint cost is a portion using physical unit. Second is market value. So first, second. Now, what are my products? My products are A, B, C. Again, A, B, C. So sales value minus joint cost apportioned in ratio of. Here the ratio given is physical units. Here the ratio given is market value, that is sales value, correct? 900 is the units into rupees 24. This will give me the market value of A. So I'm just writing here 800 into 18. This is the market value of B, and 600 into 12. So 12 6 are 72, correct? 8. 9 8 are 72. 72 into 2, 14. And 24 into 9. So minus 2000, 2.4. So 21.2. Correct? Students, these are my sales values. Whether it is 21, 200 or 600, let us recheck. 2.4 is 21,600. You're right. This is 21,600. Correct, but I mean, yes, Shamli, Deepika, correct. Yes, Meena, correct. Now, 21,600, 14,400, 7,200. 21,600, 14,400. So these are my sales value. Now here I have to divide in sales value ratio only. So my ratio is 216 is to 144 is to 72. Here I have to divide it in the ratio of physical units, which is 9 is to 8 is to 6. So 9 is to 8 is to 6. And what is my joint cost? My joint cost is this. So apportion 34,500 in this ratio, you will get the joint cost for A. Portion it in this ratio, you'll get the joint cost for B. And when I subtract this joint cost, I will get the profits as asked in the question. So this question, as you can see, students, is combination of both process costing and even joint products chapter. So tell me the answer, students. Okay. 17,000. So these are the answers as per me if I'm following physical units method. Okay, confirmed by Shamli also, confirmed by Geeta also. And I think Jaya has given me the profits. Yes, Jaya has given me the profits. Perfect. Okay, Medha, give me the further figures. Okay, Geeta has given me all the figures. 17, 250, 11, 500. And 5750. Yes, Minu has confirmed this. So now the difference between these two would be my answer. So it is 2,900, 1450, 3,600, 750, 4,350. Perfect. 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 So this is the complete answer for question number 6, students. And as I named it comprehensive because you should expect such type of questions also in the exams, which is the combination of two different chapters. Perfect, students. Great. Now we'll take 15 minutes break. After break, we'll complete the job costing chapter, which was one of the topics which was left out of the previous class allocation. So 15 minutes break. After that, we'll do job costing. Right, students? Perfect. Great. Before I take you to job costing, which is a small topic, I want you all to solve one more question. I have just, uh, from my database, I have identified one more good question on this topic. I'll just share it on the screen. Take a screenshot of that. This is again an important and interesting question, students. So one second. Yes, I'll just share on the screen. Because see, many times, as I said, now the question and the answers are same, but the way of writing the question and interpreting is different. One second, I'm sharing. Yes, beta, Ashlesha, that was my mistake, but that if you remember, I was trying to point out in the previous class only. But anyways, I have uploaded the correct sheet also. But first, take a screenshot of this, students. This is a very interesting question. Take a screenshot of this. I have uploaded the correct material today. That also you'll get. But this question is not there. This is from a different material that I have. Take a screenshot and start solving this. Though the final answer is same means on similar lines, but something very interesting and different is there in this question. Chalo. Students, read the question. The skill or the main key of this question is the reading and interpretation of the question. That is the key. Did you all get something? Meenu, that is what you have to check. Read the question well. Question 5, I'll say other notes. Now see, our workings are going to be same. Same questions are asked. Apportion joint cost. Then second is find out profit and decision making. Questions are same, but something is very special. Now see, students, in this sum, your products are three, A, B, C, correct? But interestingly, for the first time, you are given different departments, different processes. Why it is given? If you observe the question, you will find that in a chemical manufacturing company, there are three products that emerge at a single split off stage in department P. So department P is your first department, or it is the department or the process which is also the split off point. Then product A is further processed in department Q. B is further process in R, and C is further process in S. So what we get to know is these are your processes, out of which P is the first process, which is also the split off point. In this process, you get ABC. Then QRS, these three departments or processes are for further processing A, B, and C respectively. Now, what further details are given? The cost data for the month are cost of raw material, which is introduced only in P, which is the main process or the first process, is 1268. So now what I'm doing, statement showing the process cost. So P, Q, R, S. These are your departments. And here I'm writing particulars. So raw material cost. This will only come in P. It is 1268,800. Then direct wages of each department is given. So it is 384, 96, 64, 36. Correct? Then they say factory overheads is common, 464. And it has to be apportioned using wages as the basis. So overheads in ratio of direct wages. Now, overheads total amount, students, is 4,64,000. This 464 you have to apportion in the ratio of your wages. Correct? So in this ratio, you have to apportion 464. Okay. So is this the divided amount or is this the ratio? This is the ratio, Meenu. You are right. Now give me the amount. Okay, Shamli has given 307,200. Okay, Shamli, further 76,800, 51,200. And Shamli has said 28,800. Now, this is that additional point of this question. Now, when I make a total, the cost is now department wise or process wise, correct? 618. So how much is it is adding up to? 1652,800. No, beta. We have only added, I think, first two. It is 1960, beta. Gita. Okay, Minu. Understood. Correct, Mustafa. Yes, Geeta, now you're right. Yes, Shamli has given me the other department cost also, which is, then this will be 111. Sorry, not 1. It will be 115,200. And this would be 64,800. Now, students, the question starts from here. Correct. Now you are getting this. Now, how question starts from here? If we read the language, this is the process in which the products have split off. So the total of this process becomes your joint cost. So now you'll be apportioning this joint cost. And these are your further processing cost. This is for product A. This is for product B. This is for product C. So this is the answer that we are getting. This is the main part of this question, different from the other questions. That is why I felt that let me take you to this type of a different language driven question also. Now, interestingly, what is very important in this question, students, is they have not given you the method. Now, somebody was asking me in the previous class, which is the most appropriate method? The answer is, if nothing is given, the most appropriate method is one, sales value at split off. If that is not known, then NRV. But if sales value at split off is known, you will take sales value at split off as your method. Now you are given selling prices at the split off point, which is 20, 22, and 10, multiplied by the output quantities. So you will get your sales value at split off. And in that ratio, you will start doing your workings. So my first statement is statement showing joint cost. Products are A, B, C. Joint cost apportioned in ratio of sales value at split off. Correct, students? Yes. So remember this, which is the most appropriate method, or which method has to be followed if no method is mentioned. Like till now in all the previous sums, method was mentioned, either 1 or 2 or 3. Now here no method is mentioned, then you should take sales value at split off as the method. So 44,000 into 20 is how much? 8,80,000. Same 40 into 22 is 8,80,000. And this is 2 lakhs. So 880, 880, 200 is my ratio. This is your ratio in which you will apportion the joint cost. 96,000. Sorry, 19,60,000. Correct, students? Understood? Sorry. So, questions asked, prepare statement showing apportionment, prepare statement showing profit. Again, what processing decision should have been taken, and calculate the product-wise profit as per your decision. So now, after this, you will find out what is this beta 20 into 16. Have I done some calculation error? But this is with selling price. This is selling price after further processing. Why are you taking this price? Our format, our method is sales value at split off. What are the prices at split off? These are the prices. So you will multiply the quantity by these prices, not the above prices, beta. I hope this is clear, Meenu Kumari. Correct? And then the figures which I have given in the answer, according to me, they are the correct ratios. Correct, Medha? Chalo, so I give you 5 minutes, complete it fast. The joint cost, apportion it. But I multiplied 44 by 20, which is the first price. Then 40,000 by 22,000, 22. And last one was 20,000 into 10. See, but these are the quantities, 44,000, 40,000, 20,000. And these are your prices at split off. Students, I'll repeat, you have to be very particular with the data you are selecting. The question is very easy, but wrong data can create disaster. Yes, Deepika, 880, 880, 200. This is the ratio of sales value at split off. Chalo, complete the sum. Very good, Ashlesha. So complete the sum, find out joint cost, find out both the profits, then take the decision and give me the company profit as per the decision. Chalo, 5 minutes given to you. Make it fast. Okay, good. So the joint cost are 880, 880, 200, right? Now, if these are the joint cost, your profit at split off point would be what? Would be zero. I'm sure you would have understood this. Why profit is zero? Because the sales value are split off and joint costs are coming same. So what is our profit after further processing? Okay. So profit after further processing as per Shamli is 355,200 200 loss 35,200 55,200. Students, is this correct? Profit after further processing? Perfect. Very good. Kushi. So yes, now the decision, students. See, here everything is nil. Here you have two profits. So my decision is further process A and C. And here by further processing, it is giving a loss. So better is sell B at split off point. Correct? And by doing this, my company's profit is this plus this. 4, 10, 400. Correct, students? Yes. Correct, Shamli. Very good, Geeta. Yes, Khushi, correct. Is this clear to all students? So now let us go to the topic that is left from the previous class, job costing. Now, students, understand this. Job costing basically, I'd explained this also in the previous class only when we were dealing with the batch and unit costing wala part, if you remember, that these are the different methods of costing. So you have, sorry, different methods of costing. In those different methods of costing, we have job costing, batch costing, process costing, etc. Right? Now, in these methods, the format of cost sheet, fortunately, is same. See, so this is what we discussed in the previous class also when I was trying to explain you batch and unit costing, which we discussed in the previous class after we completed cost accounting. But in that, I'd also explained to you the job costing part. So what is job costing firstly? See, when your product is standardized, that is, you are having your own product design specification and you make every product as per your design specification, then the method or the approach is called as batch cost sheet. If it is multi-product or if it is a single product, it is unit or product costing. Whereas when you receive the designs, the specifications from the customers, then you have to prepare every job, you have to complete every order as per the specifications given by the customer. That is what is called as job costing, and the format is cost sheet. is job cost sheet. Now, let me inform you, students, the cost sheet format that you have studied is what is applicable to job, batch, and even single or product costing. So for all this, the method is same. You identify what are your direct cost, which will includes direct material, direct labor, direct expense. Total of this becomes prime cost. Then you charge your overheads in three categories at three stages. Again, for charging these overheads, you have to identify the ORR and multiply the base, whatever you have selected, by the ORR. So these overheads will get charged. How will you charge direct material? See, all this I'm revising. We have already studied this in our previous chapters. But what I'm going to take you through in the module, for that, we need to just make a revision. Yes, Ashlesha. Now, so here we identify how much raw material quantity is required multiplied by the charging price of raw material. How many labor hours are booked multiplied by charging rate of labor hours. And similarly for direct expenses, units into charging rate. This is how we charge all these costs, and this is how we get our total cost. Now in this particular case, the approach, the method which is followed is called as now this same format, students, is applicable whether your method is batch costing, single costing, product costing, or even job costing. So the format remains same. You have solved this when you did the chapter of cost sheet. Now let me take you to the theory version of this. So we are in the chapter of job costing. Now in this chapter, as it is mentioned, it is one of the methods of costing, and it is the specific order costing. Specific order means as per the order received from the customer, you prepare the work, you do the job. Hence, it is called as specific order costing or job costing. So how it is defined, job costing is defined as that category of basic costing method which is applicable where the work consists of separate contracts, job or batches, each of which are authorized by a specific order or contract. So where you are having different orders, different contracts, for each contract, for each order, you prepare a cost sheet. That is what is job cost sheet or job costing. Whereas batch production basically is of same character as a job order production, the difference being mainly one in the size of different orders. So batch production will be done where you are manufacturing that particular thing into small order sizes or small batch sizes. Now, how to do job costing? Analyze an ascertainment of cost of each unit of production, controlling and regulating, determining profitability. If you remember, student, this is the basic characteristics of job costing given in chapter 1 also. Now, how is job costing done? You have to prepare a separate cost sheet for each job. That is why we call it as job cost sheet. Now, find out each items of cost. I just showed you the cost sheet. One is cost of material, then the employee cost, and then the overheads which are charged or added to ascertain your total cost. Now, where is this method applicable? This method is applicable wherever different customers give you orders which are different because every order has a different specification. Further, every customer's orders are not similar. So every order is different, and hence you need to do costing of each order separately. You find out the cost of each order, each job separately. And also, since each order is different, the work in progress also is different from period to period. So these are some characteristics where job cost sheet is applicable. Now, this is the detailed format of job cost sheet. Now, as per this format, firstly, the technical details are given, the description of your product, the blueprint number. What is blueprint number? Because every customer is giving you their specification, which is given in the form of the blueprint. Blueprint is, you would be knowing, the technical drawing of any product, technical drawing of a building, which is given on that particular paper, which is called as a blueprint. Then all these details like job number, quantity, date of delivery, etc., is covered in this job cost sheet. Now here, in order that you are able to charge the cost, you need to identify how much of material, labor, and overheads is consumed. That is identified in this sheet. That is why it is called as the job cost sheet. And then on the basis of each of the items which you have identified, now you prepare your cost sheet format. You will see the cost sheet format is same: direct material, direct wages, direct expenses is not written because it is many times not there. Then production overheads, administration overheads, selling distribution overheads. Wherever required, wherever applicable, can be done. Correct? Understood everything up to this point, students? Now, how do you identify each cost? First, material cost. For material cost, you have to identify or trace how much quantity of material is required for each job. And this is done from the store's ledger, from the MRN, material requisition note, because in material requisition note, we record the quantity of material which is requisitioned for each job, for each order. Also, when you are doing this costing on estimated basis, the estimate of material which is prepared for each job is called as the bills of material. So for estimated, you go refer the bills of material where the estimates of each of these jobs is prepared. And for actual, you have to find the MRN from where you will get the details of the actual material which is issued. Similarly, for labor and overheads also, for labor, you have go to the labor card or the labor sheet where the details of labor utilized on each job is recorded. This we studied in the timekeeping part of labor, where you record how much time each worker has spent on different jobs, and from there you get the details of labor that is to be charged. Similarly, for overheads, you have to identify that for each job, how much of overheads is to be charged using the ORR, that is the overhead recovery rate, or the overhead charging rate. So students, this is how you have to understand that the costing or the charging is done in case of job cost sheet. So as you can see, for labor, all labor hours booked for each job, you will ascertain from the labor cost cards or the labor cost or the timesheets. And then on the basis of this, you will identify how much of labor is to be charged or booked over the particular job. Similarly, for overheads, you have to identify the base, that is the machine or labor hours that you have used on that particular job, and multiplied by the charging rate to get the details of the cost that has to be charged. Correct? Now, what is the treatment of the spoiled or defective work? If you remember, the same thing we discussed even in the topic of batch costing, that if there are any types of wastages, spoilages, how it is to be treated. I told you this question of treatment will be repeated in every chapter, but for different things. Now here, the treatment is of spoilage and defective. What is the treatment? You have to first understand the difference. What is spoilage? Spoilage is that output which is completely useless. It is rejected and it is such that it cannot be corrected, rectified. Whereas defective is that output which has some defects, but by doing some extra processing, by doing some rectification work, it can be corrected and made good. So the difference between spoilage and defective is defective cannot be rectified. Defective, spoilage cannot be rectified. Spoilage is the complete loss. The product is now not capable of any use. It cannot be rectified. The maximum thing that you can do is you can simply put it in the form of scrap, and it can realize some scrap value. Whereas defective is that output which is slightly not as per. Nahi, Minu. Spoilage does not mean that there will be no cerebral value. Spoiled means what? See, I'm making this pen, but I made the pen in such a fashion that it is not working, and I made such mistakes while manufacturing this pen that I cannot even correct it. So what I will do, I will put it in the scrap box where this pen could be sold in kilos. At least I will realize some price of the raw material used in this. So there is a saleable value for spoilage. Spoilage does not mean which has completely evaporated or which is not there. It is a final product. Firstly, understand it is the final product which is very badly produced such that it cannot be corrected or made good. Whereas defective is that type of final product, like the same pen I've made, but let us say the ticking is not happening because I've not properly put the spring or the spring is bad. I will change the spring. I will do some correction work and this pen will start working. That is what is a defective pen. Correct? Now, depending upon this, what is the treatment? Again, students, remember one thing, the treatment in costing depends upon one simple thing, whether this loss is a normal loss or an abnormal loss. If it is a normal loss, then the rule is the cost of rectification will be charged to the whole job and spread over the entire output. So general rule is if anything is a normal loss, the cost associated with it is charged to the good units. That is what is the treatment of normal loss. Whereas if it is abnormal loss, it will be charged to costing P&L. So whatever is abnormal, the cost incurred for that has to be charged to costing P&L. Similarly, if it is a defective, you can rework it, and for this you incur the reworking cost or the rectification cost. Now what it says, in case the cost of rectification is abnormal, if it is abnormal, what is the rule? You have to transfer it to costing P&L. Again, abnormal items are charged to costing P&L. And what if it is normal? The cost of rectification, to the extent it is normal, again it has to be charged to your product. So see, the answer remains same. Similarly, where the cost of rectification is due to inspection department wrongly accepting poor quality of raw material. So because raw material was poor, hence your final product became defective. Now here it is the fault of whom? It is the fault of the inspection department that they did not check the raw material. In such cases, the cost of rectification will be charged to the department. Which department? Inspection department. That is the department at fault. Because of them, the product became defective and we had to spend cost on reworking. So understand, students, these answers are very logical, and I want that you all prepare this thoroughly for your theory part. Now, interestingly, here in this topic of job costing, they have again repeated the journal entries. So this journal entry, if you remember, we have already studied in cost accounting. For purchase of material, it is SLC to CLC. For charging the material to your product, it is WIP to SLC. For return of material. So as you can see, all these entries we have already studied in detail. We have solved sums in our cost accounting part. So that cost accounting part obviously remains same, whatever is the chapter. Yes, I have a very good question in the chat box. Ashlesha, if I'm not wrong, wants to know, sir, what is cost center? See, in costing language, cost center is nothing but one of your departments. So every department where you are incurring cost and your purpose in that department is to ensure the minimum cost or cost control, that department will be called as a cost center. So if you remember in our overhead chapter, when we were doing the machine hour rate sums, the words or the terminology used, there was machine cost center. So I said that whenever they say cost center, you have to mean it is department. Correct, beta? So as you see, this is the same format of cost sheet that we have studied. Now going to some theory part, advantages and disadvantages. What are the advantages, disadvantages? First, advantage. The details of each item like material, labor, etc. is available for controlling. Second, profitability of each job can be calculated because you are preparing cost sheet of each job separately. So you'll also come to know profit of each job, and this will help you in deciding if in future you want to or you should accept that job or not. Then it also helps in production planning. Further, budgetary control, standard costing can also be applied. This helps in improving the controlling part, and spoilage and defective can be identified, and responsibilities can be fixed, like how we saw whose mistake it was. Accordingly, we can fix the responsibility and take corrective action. Disadvantage is job costing is costly and laborious. Why? You may be having hundreds of jobs happening in a year. So you have to prepare hundreds of cost sheet, and for preparing hundreds of cost sheet, you have to find out cost for each job separately, which is the most difficult task. You'll require a big costing department with many people and all expert in the costing subject. Then only you can do job costing for all jobs. Lot of clerical processes involved, so chances of error is increased. Method is not suitable in inflationary conditions. Why? Because in inflationary conditions, the raw material prices are regularly increasing. But what we are doing, whatever raw material we had purchased earlier, which we are consuming now, we take the price of that old raw material to do costing of the current job. This is not very much appropriate from the business point of view because you're not able to charge the current inflationary cost. So this can be rectified. You can change the method of costing. This will be rectified, but it is given as a theory disadvantage. Previous records of cost will be meaningless. Yes. Now in job, what is important as we studied, every job is a different job. Plus, if the market conditions are changing, prices are changing, like yesterday, huge cost reductions will happen because of yesterday's GST Council announcements. So this will make the past data meaningless because every job is a new job. So the requirement of every job is different. Firstly. Secondly, the cost data that you are having of old jobs may not be relevant today because of market conditions and government policies. Now, you have already studied process costing. What is the difference? So job costing is carried out for products which are produced as per the orders or specification of the customer. Whereas in case of process, the process of producing the product is a continuous flow of 2, 3 processes, and the products are homogeneous, that is, they are same. So in case of job, products are different. In case of process, the product is same. In case of job, the specifications are given by the customers. In case of process, you have your own specifications. Then cost of each job is to be calculated by preparing a cost sheet. And here, if you remember process costing topic students, you find out cost of each process by preparing the process account and doing the workings. Correct? So here costing is job wise, here costing is process wise. Each job is a separate and independent from others. Similarly, the processes are independent. Process 1, process 2, process 3 are all independent. Product lose their individual identity as they are manufactured in a continuous flowing process. The importance is of the process, not of the product. Each job order has a number and costs are allocated as per the job. And in case of process, the unit cost of process is the average cost. Costs are computed when the job is completed. Here, costs are computed process-wise. So maybe the entire production is not complete, but since you're doing process costing, you do cost calculation process-wise. Next, as production is not continuous, each job may be different, so more managerial attention is required. Whereas process of production is usually standardized and therefore it is stable. So in process, the same process is run again and again. So it is easier to control because your methods have now stabilized. They are now fixed. Whereas in case of job, every time you receive a new order, every time the specifications are different, the output is different. So the manager, production manager has to give more attention to each job for its proper production and cost control. So students, these are the theoretical parts of this chapter. Okay, Ashlesha's questions are answered. Kuldeep says cost center is a responsibility center. Yes, beta. See, the higher category is responsibility center. In that you have cost center, profit center, investment center. So if the responsibility given to your department is to control costs, your department will be called as cost center. Where you are a branch and we have given you the target of achieving a profit, the same branch the responsibility given to that branch is achieving profit, so it will be called as profit center. And where investments in different branches are very high or investment in different projects are very high, we look at that particular branch or project from the perspective of return on investment. Then the responsibility given for that branch or project is to give me maximum return on investment. Then the same branch, the same project will be called as investment center. So responsibility center is the generic term. In that, if the responsibility is cost control, you call it as cost center. If it is profit maximization, you call it as profit center. And if it is maximizing or improving return on investment, it is called as investment center. Fine, Kuldeep? Yes, Muthu Lakshmi Beda. This is what I mentioned in the previous class also, that I also had that same apprehension that a wrong sheet has been uploaded. So I think now the right one I uploaded today. You can please check once it is approved. Fine. Great. So students, we have completed everything till date, whatever was there in our previous different allotments. So kindly please solve module of every chapter. Kindly please solve past exam questions. I want you all to come out with flying colors in this subject. Yes, Sham, you can always solve it. Huh? So definitely you can solve that. That should be great. So students, thank you. Thank you very much. And no beta Ashlesha, because practical question is the same cost sheet questions what you have done and theory is what we discussed today. So you have to only learn the theory part from this chapter. Thank you, Geeta. Thank you very much. So thank you all students. Thank you, Kushi. Thank you, everyone. Yes, thank you, Pooja. Yes, Deepika. Thank you. Thank you, Bida Mustafa. Thank you, Minu. Yes, good day, everyone. Good day. Thank you all. Thank you, Kuldeep. Yes, Aditya. Thank you. Please practice, students. You all should get the best marks and you all should come out with flying colors, right? Yes, yes, Kervi. Thank you. Thank you all. Good day. Bye bye. Yes, sir. Manishji. Thank you very much, Manishji. Good day.